Alright, I'm JD. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Please hit like. And what the heck do I have here? I got a big box. So I'm going to just take my scissors here and see what I've got. It's like a shout out to the guys in the watch community, the guys on Facebook who are in the watch community. I've finally finished Tim's watch. I just have to find a set of hands. He's missing a minute hand on his hands, but that's it. That's not going to take much effort to install the minute hand. He's got the hour hand and the seconds hand, which is seconds hand is usually the harder one to get a hold of. See, I fixed my airy lube. I tightened it. So, oh yeah. So I know I ordered something, and this should be it. And we'll see what this is anyway. Oh, there's a piece of cardboard. I love the way people pack stuff on eBay. Just throw all the crap in that they own. They're like, that should be good enough. All right, there's an item. And there's another big item here. It looks like the rest of it. And that seems like that's it. So I'm going to just throw this on the floor. Get rid of that later. Get the scissors back out. Funny thing, Watch with Mike, who's a watchmaker. He told me that all the sharp pointy things, right over here is where my sharp pointy things are. And I just point that up a little bit for a second. And you'll see I've got a needle here and a needle here. And those things will nail you. I'm telling you, they'll nail you. So it's nasty. These are all my files here for my computer. So those are not important. They're videos for the making videos. So let's just open this up here. And this gentleman packed the crap out of this. So I think I know what it is. And this cost me a small fortune, but you'll see why in a second. And it's covered in a protective blanket as though the thing was in an accident, and they had to put a blanket on it so it would stay warm. So good packing though. I'm always impressed by good packing. And it's actually some adhesive here or something, right? It's very interesting packing. I'll have to keep this, but what do we have here? We have, my friends, a Countershaft. You got it. It's a Countershaft. I'm going to leave this down here so I don't get my desk all full of Countershaft grease. And they can get pretty messy. So I saw this thing online, and they are so hard to get a hold of. You almost can't buy them anymore. You've got to find a vintage one, and you're going to pay almost $300 for something like this, for a Countershaft, for a lathe. I've got a couple of Burrell stands that this will accept. So let me just tighten this up a bit, like that. And I think this is probably the base. Let me have a look here, because I'll make a video if you want. You can request it, but I'll make a video on how to set this all up with a lathe. To set up that with the Burrell stand, the Countershaft. I use sewing machine motors, the leather belt, the whole 9 yards, and I can show you how that's set up. Because I wanted to get this Countershaft for one of my lathes that doesn't have one, and they are very good for, you know, your main rope or cable or whatever the hell it's called. It goes around this, so it's geared. This is where the sewing machine is from this, and I usually use a leather bootlace, and then it goes down to here, and this is where you get your torque from this to this, and then this goes into the spindle on your lathe, and then you can really get some decent torque without having too much speed or having the motor be too big, right? So you don't want that either. And so this is the base. This is an atypical base. It looks like it's in very good condition though, which is great. And I'll be cleaning this Countershaft up later. So I'm just going to stick this in like this, stand it up a bit, like that, and then tighten the base just a tad here. Just so there we go. That's it right there. And that, my friends, is a very nice Countershaft for a Watchmakers lathe. This is tightened usually with one screw, and then you adjust on this side. So, because I would do this and pull this out here like that, and you would oil it. It looks like it's already pretty much oiled right there, but you'd oil it on the end there. And you can look at the. Take this out for a second. Am I going to have enough space? Yeah, there we go. So there's the spindle there, and it looks like there's leftover oil on that, which is good, which means it was oiled. And there's oil on the end here. It's well oiled, and the spindle's there for that. Now, because I got it in, I should be able to get it back in again, right? You'd think, where's the opening here for this? All right, this is made in Newfoundland here. Well, there it is. Okay, I got it in that side. It goes in that side first, then the other side. It's just barely fitting. This is, all right, get that in there. Put a little bit of a push on this, not too much, just a bit, and then tighten that. And there we go. So you just have to loosen that just a bit. Like this. Is that good enough? Now I'll take, yeah, that's nice there. There we go. Make sure that's tight so it's not going anywhere. So that's good there. And I'll take some oil. I use usually 0W20 synthetic oil for my lathe work. And I put that in the spindle, so I'll clean all that up. And I also use fake sandpaper. I'll show you this. It's like, it's this stuff here, okay? And this is as opposed to using steel wool. This works really well. You can actually put the lathe together and spin the lathe and then use this to clean it up. But I clean this up. I'll clean this up ahead of time and just put a little bit of elbow grease in here and get this nicely shined up here, or shined up, and get rid of any of the inconsistencies here. This might have been plated here. I think it was plated, so I'm not going to really solve this problem right there. But the rest of it can be cleaned up quite nicely. So that's a Countershaft for a Watchmakers Lathe. They're not easy to get a hold of. They're gold, Jerry, gold. That's for Sunny out there. So, which means now I can take one of my lathes, and I've got one down there with a motor on it, and a barrel stand, and I can install the Countershaft on that, which will give it the torque that I'm looking for. So that's it. Just a quick video on Countershaft and a unboxing. So let's just leave it at that. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you probably tomorrow.